Alright, I kind of just never really got around to filming a book haul last month, so we're just gonna combine these in one huge book haul. Cool. Hello lovely people, my name is Nicole and today I am doing my October/November, I don't know what that was, book haul. I have a lot of books. So last month, near the end of the month, I was waiting for like 1 or 2 books to come in the mail, and then I got to like mid-month. They still weren't here. So I just said, screw it, we'll just combine the book hauls, so that's what I'm doing. The first book I have is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This is a really cool kind of heist novel in the same world as her Grisha trilogy. I already read this. I will talk about it in my wrap-up. It is basically just, I don't know if you've watched the TV show Leverage, but it's a bunch of different criminals with various talents coming together to plan this awesome heist. And there's this really cool fantasy element, and the world is amazing. And like I said, I will talk about it more in my wrap-up. Then I got Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, Book 1, The Sword of Summer by Rick Riordan. This is the first book in his Magnus Chase series, which is his new series about Norse mythology. I talked about this in my wrap-up last month, so if you want to know my thoughts on it, but it's Rick Riordan, so can't go wrong with Rick Riordan. Then I have Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. I'm sorry, a lot of these you already saw in my October wrap-up, but whatever. This is a sort of spin-off from her novel Fangirl, where there was this book series that the main character was obsessed with and wrote fan fiction for, and this is that fan fiction. It's about a boy named Simon Snow who is sort of the quintessential chosen one, and he goes to a magic school, and he is roomies with an evil-ish vampire who he's sort of hated throughout all their years, and they're dealing with all the sort of like magic school chosen one type things that you get in basically all stories with a magic school. Then we have Lumberjanes Volume 2, Friendship to the Max. This is a comic book series by Noelle Stevenson, Grace Ellis, and Brooke Allen, I believe. This is about a group of 5 friends who are attending this summer camp, and it's this really weird kind of mixture of almost just like whimsical, like magic. All these weird magical things are happening and everyone's just kind of like, yep. Or, well, the main characters are all just like, yep, that's okay. Cool, roll with it. Then I picked up The Rose Society by Mary Lou. This is the sequel to The Young Elites by Mary Lou. It's a really interesting fantasy series in which several years ago there was this huge plague and a ton of people died, but there are a small group of people who got the plague but didn't die and instead got these weird powers, and our main character is one of those characters, and it deals with a lot of like complex morality things, hero/villain dichotomy. Really, really interesting series. I haven't read this one, but I plan to get to it really soon, hopefully. I don't know how much reading I'll be doing in December. I have been having a really slow reading month. And then, the most exciting thing I have, the one that I was waiting to arrive before I did my October book haul, the illustrated edition of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. It's so pretty. It is so pretty. Even just like the end papers are gorgeous. I can't with how pretty this book is. I haven't read through it yet. I'm gonna read it at the very, very start of December, so like now, with Harry Christmas to You, which if you don't know what that is, it is in the month of December you read Harry Potter or watch Harry Potter, and I'll link to the Twitter below where it has all the information about that. But yes, it's Harry Potter and it's illustrated and it's beautiful. And I got Zeros by Scott Westerfeld, Margot Lanigan, and Deborah Biacotti. I don't know the other 2 authors, but I love Scott Westerfeld. And I believe this is about superheroes with really, really lame superpowers. And so they call themselves Zeros, and that's really all I know about it. But I Honestly, I mainly just bought this on, it's Scott Westerfeld, and I absolutely adore Scott Westerfeld. The next book I have it was self-published, and that is California 4 O'Clock by Martin McClellan. Martin McClellan is my uncle, and he did this Kickstarter for his book, California 4 O'Clock, and it is a beautiful, like, this book is absolutely beautifully made. It has gorgeous end papers. It has that really nice, first of all, it has an embossed cover, and it has that really nice texture. You can kind of see it a bit there. Absolutely beautiful. This is sort of looking at 50s pinup culture, and I believe there's an element of like photography type things. I haven't read it yet, but I'm very excited to, because it's my uncle and I'm excited to read his work. Martin McClellan also runs the Seattle Review of Books, which is just pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a review site for books based in Seattle. So I will link that in the doobly-doo if you want to check that out. Next, I got Black Widow Forever Read by Margaret Stohl. I actually have started this one. I'm really, really not far into it. I keep getting distracted reading-wise right now. This is about Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff, and I'm not quite sure where in her story. I don't think she's like a teenager, but I think it's before she like officially joins the Avengers. And it's like canon. This is Natasha's backstory. I'm really excited to read this because I absolutely love Black Widow. She's amazing. Then I got a couple different Colleen Hoover books. I got Slammed and I got Hopeless. Slammed is about a girl whose dad dies, and then her mother and her brother and her all have to move from, I want to say like Texas to Minnesota or Michigan, one of the northern cold states. And she's not too happy about it, but then she meets her cute next door neighbor. And he sort of introduces her to this whole like slam poetry thing, and then complications arise. I reviewed this in my wrap up last month, so you can check it out there if you want to know more. And then Hopeless, I have no idea what it's about. All I know is that I've heard that it's super, super emotional, and it's Colleen Hoover, so. Next, I got Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, and I'm not quite sure what this is about. I know it's some kind of mystery thing, maybe sci-fi. All I know is that it is so cool. I mean, there's all kinds of like weird documents and like emails and just weird multimedia type things. I don't know. I'm excited to read it. Then I got Winter by Marissa Meyer. This is the last book in the Luna Chronicles series. I can't really say what it's about because I don't want to spoil the rest of the series. But I will say that this focuses on retelling Snow White. And the first, if you don't know, the Luna Chronicles series goes through, and there's 4 books. Each one sort of focuses on retelling a different fairy tale. The first one is about Cinderella, then Red Riding Hood, Rapunzel, and now Snow White. And it's very sort of sci-fi, fantasy kind of thing. Really, really good series. I loved this last book. I'll talk about it more in my wrap-up. Then I got Legacy of Kings by Eleanor Herman. This is a retelling, I believe, of Alexander the Great, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's a fantasy, and the one main thing that I've heard when people talk about this book is that the author is a like medieval or like ancient historian. So the world building I've heard is absolutely incredible. I'm really excited to read this. I've been in such a weird reading mood lately. I haven't been able to read anything, much less like high fantasy. So I don't know when I'll get around to it, but I am really excited to read it. Then I got Rat Queens Volume 2 by Curtis J. Weeb, Rock Upchurch, and Stephen Sejic, and it's the far-reaching tentacles of, oh god, Nuregoth. Probably pronounced none of that right, but Rat Queens is about a group of various fantastical women. I think there's like an elf and a dwarf and I don't even know. And they are badass and amazing, and they go on quests, and I really loved the first volume, so I'm really excited to read this one. Then I got Miss Marvel Volume 2, Generation Y, and if you don't know who Miss Marvel is, she's a Marvel character, and she used to be Carol Danvers, who is now Captain Marvel, and now Miss Marvel is Kamala Khan, who is a 16-year-old Muslim girl who lives in, I believe, New York. And I really like the first volume. Again, like I said for Rat Queens, I really like the first volume, so I'm very excited to read the second. Then I got First and Then by Emma Mills, aka Elmify on YouTube. I have just heard that this book is sort of a, I believe, Pride and Prejudice modern retelling type inspired by, maybe, and that it's really cute and fluffy and light. And that's all I know. But I'm excited to read it when I want something just cute and light and just sort of easy to read. And the last book I got was Binge by Tyler Oakley. I love Tyler Oakley and I am so excited to read his book. I'm actually a couple chapters in and I got this on Black Friday, so you can get to the right page. It is signed, which is always fun. This book is surprisingly heavy because even though it's fairly thin, pretty much all the pages are printed on like photo paper. So I don't know why they would do that, because that makes it ridiculously expensive to print, I'm sure. But whatever, it's a nice book. It has gorgeous end papers of like these like candy wrappers that are on the front. And it's just, I'm excited to read it. I love Tyler Oakley. From what I've read so far of it, the writing style is a lot of fun, so yeah. Right, so those are all the books I bought this month. It's a lot of books. I don't even want to count. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you've read any of these and what you thought. I love you, and I will see you later. Bye!